December 1, 2025, USCIS reveals crucial update for permanent residents. Permanent residents, pay close attention. On December 1, 2025, USCIS rolled out a crucial update that could affect your green card, naturalization process, and even your future in the United States. If you're not aware of these changes, you could face delays, extra paperwork, or unexpected complications. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what's new, who it affects, and the urgent steps you need to take now to protect your status. Don't risk your future. Watch this before it's too late. First, let's set the stage. USCIS, or the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, regularly updates its policies, application procedures, and fees, but some changes are more significant than others. This December 1 announcement falls into the category of major procedural updates, which is why it's making waves in the immigration community. The update is designed to streamline certain processes for permanent residents, but it also comes with deadlines, requirements, and potential pitfalls that you need to be aware of. Ignoring this could result in delayed applications, unexpected requests for evidence, or even jeopardize your eligibility for certain benefits. So, what exactly changed? At the core, USCIS announced a new set of requirements for permanent residents applying for naturalization, renewing green cards, or updating their status. This includes revisions to Form I-90 for green card renewal, Form N-400 for naturalization, and adjustments to the biometrics process. While the forms themselves haven't completely changed, USCIS has implemented stricter verification measures, more detailed documentation requests, and a higher level of scrutiny for applications submitted online. In simple terms, if you're a permanent resident and you have any pending applications or plan to apply in the near future, you need to understand these updates, because USCIS will enforce them rigorously. One of the biggest points to note is biometrics and background verification. Previously, some permanent residents were able to submit renewal applications with minimal in-person interaction. Starting December 1, 2025, USCIS is requiring more detailed biometric checks for nearly all renewals and naturalization applications, including updated fingerprint scans, photographs, and in some cases, additional identity verification documents. This is not just a formality. USCIS is explicitly stating that failure to comply could result in a denial or delay of your application. Another key change involves documentation for residency and continuous presence. If you are applying for naturalization, USCIS now expects more robust proof of continuous residence and physical presence in the US. This means that they may ask for additional evidence like tax returns, utility bills, employment records, or school enrollment documents for your children if applicable. The goal here is to prevent fraudulent claims, but it also raises the bar for legitimate applicants. Many permanent residents who previously relied on minimal documentation may now need to prepare more thoroughly to avoid delays. Let's talk about who is most affected by this update. First, anyone planning to apply for naturalization within the next 12 months should pay immediate attention. USCIS is rolling out these verification requirements retroactively to applications submitted after December 1, which means even if you submitted your N-400 before this date but it hasn't been processed, you could be asked for additional documentation. Second, permanent residents whose green cards are expiring in 2026 will also feel the impact. Renewal applications will now include enhanced checks, so starting the process early and gathering your documents ahead of time is critical. One particularly important point is about travel abroad. USCIS has stated that longer trips outside the United States may now require additional proof of intent to maintain permanent residency. Previously, short absences of 6 months or slightly longer were often handled without issue, but now USCIS could request more detailed explanations and supporting evidence for trips exceeding 6 months, and in some cases, even for absences over 90 days if multiple trips are involved. This is a subtle but significant change for anyone who travels frequently or has family abroad. Now, let's break down the practical steps you need to take immediately. First, review your green card expiration date. If it's set to expire within the next 2 years, begin preparing your renewal application early. Don't wait until the last minute. USCIS processing times can be unpredictable, and with these new requirements, delays are likely. Second, gather your documentation, tax returns, proof of employment, utility bills, lease agreements, and anything that proves continuous residence. Think of this as creating a residency portfolio. The stronger your documentation, the smoother your application will go. Third, update your biometric records if necessary. USCIS may schedule appointments for fingerprinting and photographs. Make sure your contact information is current and that you respond promptly to any appointment notices. Missing a biometric appointment can result in application denial or additional delays. Some permanent residents are also being asked to provide digital copies of identification documents when submitting online applications, so scanning your passport, driver's license, and any previous immigration documents is a smart move. Fourth, be prepared for requests for additional evidence, or RFEs, as they are called. Under the new policy, RFEs are more common, and they may include requests for proof of employment, bank statements, or even letters from your employer or landlord confirming your residence. The key here is not to panic. RFEs are routine but do respond quickly and thoroughly. USCIS gives strict deadlines for submission, and failing to meet them can result in denial of your application. Another crucial change involves fees and online submission processes. While the standard fees for Form I-90 and N-400 have not dramatically increased, USCIS has introduced new digital verification fees for certain applications submitted online. This fee covers identity verification and processing of biometric data. Most applicants will pay this automatically when submitting forms online, but it's important to budget for it because if the fee isn't paid, your application may not even be processed. Let's also discuss interviews for naturalization. USCIS has indicated that interviews may now include more detailed questions about travel, employment, and residence history. They may also request proof of English proficiency and knowledge of U.S. civics beyond the standard test, particularly for applicants with complicated travel or work histories. This doesn't mean it's harder to pass the naturalization test, but it does mean you need to be prepared with documentation that supports your answers during the interview. Here's a tip many permanent residents overlook: keep all immigration-related correspondence in one place. Letters from USCIS, notices, and receipts for form submission should be stored securely and easily accessible. If you're ever asked to provide a history of your interactions with USCIS, having everything organized can save days or even weeks of confusion. It's also worth mentioning that legal assistance may be more valuable than ever. While many permanent residents can manage applications on their own, these new updates make the process more complex. Consulting with an immigration attorney or accredited representative can help ensure your application is fully compliant, reducing the risk of delays or denials. Even a brief consultation could save you a significant amount of stress and potentially money in the long run. Let's be honest, these changes might feel overwhelming, but the good news is that they are designed to protect your status and make sure your applications are accurate and secure. If you follow the steps I've outlined, checking expiration dates, gathering documentation, updating biometric information, responding promptly to requests, and staying organized, you can navigate the new USCIS process with confidence. Now, some of you might be wondering about special cases, like those with criminal records, previous immigration violations, or complicated travel histories. USCIS has indicated that these applicants may face additional scrutiny under the new rules. That doesn't necessarily mean denial, but it does mean you need to be especially meticulous with documentation. If this applies to you, it's strongly recommended to consult a qualified immigration professional before submitting your application. One final point to keep in mind is timing. USCIS often experiences long processing times, especially during policy changes or updates. By starting your application as early as possible, you reduce the likelihood of being caught off guard by delays. December 1, 2025 is the official rollout date, but the effects will be felt for months to come. Applicants submitting forms in early 2026 will still need to comply with the new rules, so there's no grace period for ignoring these changes.